this week's ASMR speed build, but with random ASMR sounds. So today I'm building a modern tiny home. Yes, another tiny home. I love tiny homes. I find them very fun to build because it's not as overwhelming as a full build. Although I do build full houses as well, and I'll probably do some of those in the future. But for now, I'm quite liking sticking to tiny builds. So today I have a tiny modern heavily green build for you. And this building is heavily inspired by a studio style unit I used to live in. The layout is very similar, very, very similar. The kitchen was in exactly the same space, the bathroom in exactly the same space, but the dimensions of the build are not the same as they were in reality because in The Sims 4 you're locked into the tile placement and only being able to build by tile size, so dimensions aren't exact, which then meant I obviously had to change the layout just a little bit. But yeah, I had a desk in the same place. It was actually a built-in desk, and yeah, it had the bookcases built in. The bathroom is in exactly the same space, and it ran the width of the living space, although it was just one straight line. It didn't have the fold in it. Yeah, I can't remember how that worked. I think that there was actually there was a pantry cupboard next to where the desk is, so that sat in as much as the desk. And then there was also a built-in wardrobe on the other side where you'll see I put the door. There was actually a built-in wardrobe there, so couldn't get it to quite work the way it did in real life, but it's pretty close in resemblance. In actual fact, it wasn't green, it was red, black and white was the decor I went for. I quite enjoy neutral colours generally. Like in my current home, I have lots of greys, silvers, blacks, whites, a little bit of navy, and dark greens, but I quite like neutral. But when I decorated my unit, I had pops of red here and there, so I had a red jug and a red toaster, a red lamp, and a red vase. But I decided when I built this that I was going to have some fun with green. I'll be as normal, making some random ASMR sounds throughout it because there's only so much I can say in a speed build. I mean, you can see it if you're watching, and if you're not, then it doesn't really matter what I'm doing in the speed build. But yeah, right now I have a metal lid from a canister that I'm tapping on with the tips of my fingers, and then my nails, but my nails are a little bit, I don't know, I think that's a little bit hard, too harsh of sound. I'll throw in some unintelligible whispering. And my favourite notepad. I love the sounds that this notepad makes, so yeah. Anyway, right now I'm trying to work out what I want to do with the bookshelves above the desk, and oddly enough, a lot of the shelves don't actually have slot spaces, and I couldn't be bothered lifting them up and stuff. It was just, for some reason, I could not get the lifting keys to work. 9 and 0, I think it is, and even hitting control or alt or whichever button it is, it wouldn't work for me. So I ended up giving up on that and finding shelves from Dream Home Decorator, I think it was, which actually do have slot spaces on them, and that's why I went for that in the end. And I was able to put some clutter on there as well, so I did want to have a laptop because I don't have a telly in this build. a little storage thing just to add a bit of pop of colour and break up all the books. And it's really annoying that those shelves actually clip into the walls, but I ended up working with it. I was going to go with the green lava lamp, but it was a little bit too much, so I decided not to go for the green lava lamp and went for something else instead. I do like that little light, but I wish it had a mirror in the middle, because I thought if you were living in such a tiny house, a mirror would be awesome because you can sit at the desk and do your makeup as well. But it doesn't have a mirror in it. It just serves as some lights, and I think it looks pretty. So, and then I was just trying to find something to clutter up the desk and decorate the desk a bit. I went through heaps of plants, and I was like, nah, that doesn't suit my vibe. I was really wanting something modern. Yeah, I went through some of the colour swatches and I put those frames up there. I figure if you were actually living here, you could take a photo of some friends or something and pop them on those shelves, but in its place, those frames work okay. Not that I would want to have a framed picture of an apple and a bear, I think it is, on my bookshelves, but apparently we do in The Sims, so I'm just typing on the object cheat now to place something, to place a pencil cup on the desk. But again, this was when I tried to lift up the pencil cup, and I could not get it to lift up. I don't know what was going on with my game. It just wouldn't work for me. It ended up slotting onto the desk for me though, so it wasn't a total failure. So yeah. Oh, that sounds so loud. I just pulled a piece of paper out of the pad, and this pad is really little. Yeah. And then I knew I wanted to use that particular bed, so I went for that bed. I quite like the green of it. And then I was looking for a little side table, like a really little one, yeah. So I would scoot the bed up closer against the wall and give more space, which then allowed me to have enough space to put a full-size wardrobe next to the bed. Yeah, so I actually was able to build this place really quickly. I think because I had the other unit that I actually lived in mind, I kind of just went with that. It took me a little while to work out the right wardrobe for this space though. That one was too big. It just clipped into the bed and I didn't like that. And all the full-size dresses were the same, so I knew I needed like a wardrobe that was narrow. And then I went for that, and then I was like, nope, it's just not modern enough. It's not the right vibe. And then I found that one, but I don't think I liked the swatches on it. They weren't quite right. And that's when I went for a green vibe and found the perfect dresser. That was the perfect green. And then I knew I wanted something against the bed, above the bed, so yeah, so it took me a while to work out what I wanted above the bed, but I think I ended up changing it as well. Like I finally picked something and then I ended up changing it. Right now I have a comb, a white tooth comb, and I'm just brushing the pulp filter. Brushing the pulp filter. Brushing the pulp filter. Brushing the pulp filter. I keep hitting the base of the mic, so I'm gonna have to edit that out because it's quite harsh. But yeah. Right now, it took me a little while to pick the rug as well because I was looking for the perfect colour again. And I went for a neutral colour because I already had so many pops of green that I was like, I don't really need a green rug. I think it'll be too much. So the grey kind of broke up the green. All that green needed something to break it up. And I think that rug worked quite well. When I placed the green walls, I never really liked it. I thought it was too much. And then when I decided I was going to have brick on the outside, I was like, well, maybe I'll bring the brick to the inside. And so I did that, and I was like, yep, it's got to stay. I love it. It's perfect. Again, it breaks up the green, and I think it complements the green quite well. So I was really happy with that decision, and still am. I think it looks great. I don't tend to build with bricks inside all that often. So it's something a bit different for me. Right now I was trying to work out the window sizing. I wanted those windows because they are modern looking and they come in green even better. But I wasn't totally sold on the sizing and the shapes of them. So I couldn't figure out what I wanted to use with that wall there now. And also because the door is quite short, I didn't really want a window that was taller than the door. I don't think it would have been very balanced looking, so I fiddled around with the windows for quite a while, and until I got something that I was happy with. And even then I wasn't totally happy with it, but I think it works. It does work. So, yeah. Right now I'm pinching the pop filter, and I've got a piece of cat fur on it, so I'm pinching it to get it off. Yeah, so I'm still trying to work out the windows, and because this was the bathroom, I didn't want full-size windows. Even though it's The Sims, I still want to be a little bit realistic. And especially when I build, it's like you wouldn't have a full-sized window in your bathroom. It just wouldn't make sense. However, I wish that we had windows that became foggy, like in gameplay. So, like, if it detected that the sim was using the toilet or the sink or the shower, that the windows fogged up, and then I go back to the painting above the bed because I was like, I need a window there, and if that painting's there, then a window doesn't really work, so you couldn't have both. But I think the painting worked well above the wardrobe, so yeah, didn't really matter too much. But yeah, again, with the window shape, I couldn't work ourselves. And I stuck with the bricks and just went for a tiny wall height, like a short wall height, rather than a fence, because I think it looks quite cute actually. I ended up trying to get the ladder to work and then realising I had to bulldoze a part of the wall to get it to work, so that's what I ended up doing. Now, eventually, once I work it out, I don't know why it took me so long to work it out, but I got there in the end, and then it was absolutely perfect that ladder came in green because it was the exact colour I wanted. And then I didn't have a sim in this. I went into it from build mode, from the main menu. What do you call it? From the world map. So there was no sim living on this lot, which meant I could then access those flower pots, which I believe are actually locked if you have a sim that you're building with. I think that they're from the Plant Sim Challenge from a while back. Yeah. So, and I really like them. I think they are so pretty. I could be wrong about those pots though. They might not be locked, but I think they are because I don't really use them when I'm building with a sim family generally. And then, of course, I just painted in a light little footpath. I don't do too much landscaping. I think I place a few trees, a fairly modern mailbox. I hate that mailbox. I wish we could get some more mailboxes. Really limited in the mailboxes that we have. They're all, I don't know, they don't overly inspire me too much. Yeah, I think that they could do better with the mailboxes. Then I sized this little plant thing up. I love that little plant decoration. I quite often use it, and then I realised my door glitched. So I do fix that. Yeah, there you go. I fixed that. It's weird, but I do hang some hanging plants above as well, just to help make this look a little bit less stark, because it's quite boring really. I liked the little eave on top as well. I think it needed it. Those plants didn't quite work well for me, so I went with the ones from Jungle Adventure. Yeah. And a bit of black trimming to just finish it off. Just was the perfect finishing touch to that rooftop there. And then trying to find the right plants again. Even then, the ones from Jungle Adventure I wasn't overly happy with, but they were the best thing that I could have gone for with what we have. Yeah, and then that plant just wasn't modern enough. It just didn't suit. Neither did that really, but yeah, and then I thought it needed more plants all around, so I did that. I had some more plants, and then I left the rooftop fairly empty. Yeah, I just didn't want to go overboard. I also didn't really take notice of how much I spent on this build, so I'm not even sure if it's a starter home. It's probably not, because I bought a laptop and probably used some expensive stuff, like those kitchen cabinets are pretty expensive. But I did use like the cheap shower and the cheap toilet, so maybe it still is a starter home. I'm not actually sure. noticed that it wasn't soft enough, so I softened up the brush a bit and went back, added that in, and that brings us to the end of this speed build and on to our panning shots. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to get some feedback on what you think of it, if you're enjoying it, and maybe some things you might want me to try. Sounds and stuff. Do you like a fast edit or a slow edit? Do you like a fast talking or slow talking? Do you like unintelligible whispering and want me to do more? Maybe that could be a speed build thing, where I don't actually need to say anything about the actual speed build, but I just unintelligible whisper through the whole thing. Do you like me making sounds throughout it?